Hey, YouTube. In this video, I wanted to go over uh, this Merry Christmas from Your Lawyer. It's a card that I came across when watching Legal Legal. I don't know if you follow him, but I love his content. It's great, and he shared this Christmas card, this little clip, and I thought it was pretty hilarious. But I wanted to kind of dig deeper and kind of explain why it's relevant or why it's relevant to a lawyer or anybody in the legal profession. So. It starts off, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That's how it's read, but then there's edits made, presumably by a lawyer. And it says the corrections are, I wish you, but in no way guarantee. So why why does that say that? So uh, in law, we don't want to make any guarantees because that may become a warranty. So definition for that, let me read you this excerpt that I found. A warranty is a promise or assurance that may be express implied by the circumstances or implied by law. A warranty might be an express or implied statement that particular facts are true. So, for example, you don't want to, a lawyer wouldn't want to make a statement that something is true if it isn't, because he could be held liable for it. All right. So the next piece says a reasonably Merry Christmas. So where does this reasonable come from? And that comes from the reasonable person standard. So uh, in law, we use that as a sort of like third party, what the average person would do. And the definition goes something like this. A reasonable person standard is a phrase frequently used to denote a hypothetical person who in society exercises the average care, skill, and judgment, and serves as a comparative standard for determining liability. So again, it's you don't want to guarantee anything, but so what would a reasonable person in that situation do or guarantee? And the last piece in that section adds and or a festive period, including but not limited to. So festive period, where does that come from? And I think that's a play on discrimination or inclusion. You don't want to discriminate anybody based on their religious beliefs or whatnot. And again, that comes down to HR and discrimination in the workplace. Particularly, what comes to mind is the Civil Rights Act, that states it makes sure that it makes it illegal to discriminate against someone on the basis of race, color, religion, national origin, or sex. So I think that's a play on that. There's no discrimination in the workplace, and you want to include as many people as possible. And in the last section, it says, and a edit reasonably happy 12, and it crosses out New Year. So again, it applies the reasonable person standard there. But the last piece says happily New Year, and it crosses out New Year, and it edits with 12 spelled out, and then the number 12 months from the date hereof. And the number spelled out with the actual numbers is just something very common to the legal profession. We want to be as specific and as precise as possible. So we don't want um, any wiggle room or any gray area. We want to say 12, and you want the reader to understand it means 12. And say on the same vein, from the date hereof. So again, we want to be as specific, and we like to use that legal jargon like any professional does, because we want to seem that we're very competent and educated and whatnot. So I love that. It was pretty funny, and I plan to use it next year as I send it to all my law students or fellow law students and some friends who are already lawyers. So that was great. I hope you enjoyed this uh, explanation from a law student. Thanks.